yeah, just on this idea of the dumbest for me, I'll say. So I've spent my money in a lot of dumb ways. And what I can say is I was raised to know how to spend money well. I was not necessarily raised to know how to invest money. So when it comes to spending, I buy with a lot of quality. Everything I bought, and Stu, if you've ever, like, I've sent you to my jeweler, the way that I talk about buying jewelry. And this is actually the funny story, right? So, or part of the story. So randomly, y'all know this, I was on the Montell Williams show in 2005. It's so random.
That's such a random thing to just throw out there.
Never get old.
But so I go on the show, and just to talk about the financial situation, I took a $32,000 signature loan out from Morehouse freshman year. In my name, my mom couldn't even get it in her name. So it was actually co-signed by my great aunt's best friend who lived across the street from her on St. John's. So
Brooklyn.
That was a monkey on my back because I have to pay this lady back. And thank God that she did it and I was able to get there. And I did when I finally got a good chunk of money, Mike, I paid that loan off, but it was like 10 years later. Right. So even loans and the predatory nature of them and not really understanding finances, I was 17 signing my life away to that $32,000 loan. So I've misused a lot of those refund checks because we just didn't know any better. But then I get on Montell and I'm telling, it's the Sylvia Brown psychic episode, and I'm not on the show. I'm in the audience because my mom liked to go to see Montell. So randomly I'm home from a winter break for freshman year, and I'm with my mom in Montell, and my mom wants to go. She's like, "Oh, I don't believe in psychics. Let's leave. I'm not sitting here for the Sylvia." And they're laughing because they know my mom.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm not sitting here for this Sylvia." And I'm like, "No, let's just see. We're here now. Let's just stay." And then eventually, Montell's taking audience questions, and I raise my hand and I get on. So they're like, "Young man," I'm wearing a Nietzsche sweater.
Yes, sir.
Orange Nietzsche sweater, and. But this is important too, like the fashion and the hood in me, right? Yes. So I raised my hand, and everybody's asking Sylvia questions like, "Do you see Johnny from the past, or in the afterlife talking to me?" And my question was, "Well, Sylvia, I've struggled to get funding for school. Do you see funding in my future?" Like I just had taken out a big loan 5 months earlier, and Sylvia goes, "Yes, I do." And Montell says, just to show you how fast her predictions come true, I'll give you $2,000 today. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a come up. Like, we just came in the crowd and I got $2,000 about a week later, drawn on Montell's foundation, 2 $1,000 checks. I went to Jimmy Jazz and I bought 2 pairs of Jordan 14s. I bought an academics coat, and then I went down to my jeweler and I bought a cross and a chain. Yep. And while the clothing was a stupid expenditure and the chain was as well, like my school was already paid, by the way. I had the loan. So what was the $2,000 going to do on my 17-year-old mind? But spending that money on the chain thereafter, because I was taught to spend well, at least if I was going to spend, I was taught to buy quality things. When my mom couldn't pay her rent, I had to pawn that chain, and that chain was able to keep us with a roof over our head for another month. So those types of things were always like, oh, I made a dumb purchase, but I was taught to like buy things that you could at least pawn to get you out of a bind, or those types of things I hated, but it was at least the idea, because the mindset is something's always going to come up. You always have a bind or a trouble or some traumatic event that you'll need to be able to offload an asset in order to pay for that event. So just randomly, sorry, Montell, I spent your money on gold jewelry and Nikes, but
I hope he sends you an email.
Still the same guy I am today, right?